his number?
Wonder Woman gave me this shit a long time ago.
What? Oh my God, Diana, don't tell me you fucking villains now, bro.
Yo.
You fucking no bum-ass villains. Are you out your mind?
Yes, you are.
Then why you saying he got our number from you?
Because he's fucking lying, nigga. He a villain. What the
She
fuck?
do got a point there about mine. Robin, shut the fuck up. Hey, she do got a point there, bro. Don't call up here lying on your dick.
I ain't fucking lying. I had that bitch folded like fresh laundry.
Nigga, what? Ain't nobody fucking
Bitch,
fucking
I
me.
had your ass folded like a napkin at a 5-star
You
restaurant.
definitely lying now.
Call that shit origami.
Dick don't fold me. I fold dick.
That shit sound painful.
It was. But I like that
No,
shit.
you didn't.
How you gonna tell me what
Because
I like?
I didn't fuck you.
Yes,
You never had sex.
You mean folding in the own sauce?
Alright, so you ain't never fucking nigga named David?
What kind of dumbass question? Of course, nigga. That's half the fucking world.
Bitch, I'm talking about the David from 2 months ago.
Know how many motherfuckers are named David?
Bitch got a body count like John Wayne
bitch,
Casey.
I'm talking about the David you said looked like Yahya Abdul-Mateen. That David.
The second?
Bitch, the first ain't famous.
Oh yeah. My bad. I did throw him some ass.
Damn it, Diana. You're fucking gross. Fucking
Nigga,
villains
shut
for
the
real.
fuck up. You fuck your villains all the time.
Bitch, I would never. I stand for fucking justice.
You be standing up in Catwoman too. What about that?
I mean, that's different though. She not no like villain per se. She more like an anti-hero.
Okay, what about Harley Quinn?
I mean, she an anti-hero like too. Like, so she really ain't like a villain no more.
Poison Ivy?
I mean, she's just a vegan. I don't make her a villain.
Talia Gould?
Nah, see, Talia, it's her dad.
She's a
who's
fucking
villain.
assassin.
She's a fucking ass having.
What?
I mean, she has ass. A nice ass.
Y'all shut the fuck up and tell me where Aquaman at?
Hey, hold on, my guy. Who the fuck? You think you
Talk
talking
to
to?
your bitch ass.
My ass ain't no bitch, and my bitch
Hey,
ass
what the
ain't
fuck
here.
are you talking about,
Okay,
bro?
helmet punched off your head, bitch.
You ain't gonna do shit. Not to me.
Nigga, I'll karate chop the back of your motherfucking neck. Don't ever try me,
And I'll
bitch ass
fuck
nigga.
you
I
up.
don't give a
Don't
fuck who you think you.
nobody in your lame ass road gallery.
I would get whatever the fuck I
You're
want.
one of them
Confused,
bitch
honest.
ass Gotham villains, bro. I will kill you, bro. I put that shit on the Atlantic, bro.
You ain't gonna do shit, bro. I'll see your ass address right now. You can pull up.
This motherfucker wanna die.
Why you keep talking like it's just him
Oh,
here?
so you want smoke too?
All you gotta do is grill, my guy.
Hey, I was just calling for Aquaman, but I don't give a fuck. All y'all can get touched.
About touching some shit. What you gonna
You
touch,
ain't
bro?
touching shit.
Touching everybody that's touchable in that
Better
bitch.
hope you don't get touched
Bitch,
first.
I don't get touched. I do the touching.
Hands gonna get washed before you get to touch anything.
I'm touching shit like a blind nigga in the museum.
You ain't gonna touch shit with this L we about to hand you.
You are so wrong.
No, she's right. You're definitely about to have to touch that L while you're
Bro,
holding
if
it.
I was a movie star, my name would be Chris Toucher.
And my name will be Jackie Hands.
Well, guess what? You're about to star in a franchise called Touch Hour.
Sounds like softcore porn.
It's hardcore.
I don't know if I know what we're talking about
Do
here.
you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Can't see your mouth.
Oh, yeah, that's right, my bad.
Did you just want to leave that nigga a message or something? Cause he not here, bro.
Yeah, tell him I did some evil shit or something and just to hit me back.
Okay, what kind of evil shit?
Shit, I don't know, bro. Just tell him some shit I did.
Why we gotta come up with it? Why you can't just come up with some shit?
Bitch,
Like you trash like that?
all day. I've been stressed out.
I'm happy you ain't my villain. You don't put in no fucking effort.
Just tell that nigga I set the ocean on fire or some bullshit.
No, what?
That shit sounds stupid as fuck,
Dumb
bro.
as fuck.
Man, fuck y'all.
Welcome to Life Rants. Welcome to Life Rants. I am so sorry for the ungracious N-bombs, MFers, and listen.
We black, so it's okay.
We gonna be cussing. We're gonna be cussing from now on. I do not care.
Yes.
I'm cussing. It's gonna be a lot of the blackest black Puerto Rican podcast out there. Get ready. Get ready. Once we get to episode 52,
we Latino as fuck.
I'm telling y'all now, if y'all sticking with us past episode 52, season 2 of Life Rants, bigger, blacker, and
yes.
I'm not holding back no more. I am not. I have been nice. I look. This was just a saison, a taste of.
Not a saison.
Get ready. Get ready. Anyway, I am your gracious host, Antonio Augusto. This is the Life Rants podcast, and before my gracious my co-host introduce himself, if you get into your feelings if you got some sour attitude about life and how you handle things, then I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the podcast for
Big dot, big
you.
dot. Look, I'm here.
But,
We here.
you know, feel
Oh,
free to
look,
jump in
you
with
said
your
nothing but a
introduction
word.
at
Look,
any time.
what's going on, my beautiful people? And how are y'all doing this evening? Or should I say my beautiful homo superiors, as I say? It is a lovely week. I'm ready because we're going to get into some things and some stuff and some things today. This is the podcast I'm waiting for, y'all. Y'all don't even know. All things. Yeah, let's just get into it. I have so many thoughts, and
Listen. Okay, so one
let's go.
serious thing
Of course.
that we have to do. But one serious thing we have to do. Okay. As if because now we got international listeners, so I need to say it like this. If you're paying attention to what's happening in Hawaii, so I've been kind of keeping up with the story, and
you gotta let me know.
That is going to be
you
another.
You gotta let me know what's going on with that, because I was like, I'm not up to date on it.
Oh, okay. So the gist of it is there was a fire, a huge fire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The accounts I'm hearing via TikTok, it is a lot worse.
Really?
So that said, normally we would say, support your local comic stores and toy stores and whatnot. That's what we normally say, right? In this case, today, if you see it on TikTok, make sure the guy or gal is legit. Support the people in Hawaii. I can't remember the town right now. I think it starts with an L. I don't want to butcher it because I don't want to be blatantly disrespectful. But please support what's going on in Hawaii. I will preface this by saying, don't donate to the Red Cross, all the big organizations. You want to make sure that if anybody has like a GoFundMe or PayPal or Venmo, that you get in touch with that person and you do it directly, because these big organizations kind of hold things up. As we saw in Hurricane Maria, it was a hot mess express. So I don't want to see a replay of that, but it's bad, period. Like it's not a great situation. So please support our island brothers and sisters. Please do that. And that said, all right, let's do this. But yeah, go support that movie, because already people are just on that BS. Oh, Flash was better. Let me, because I'm angry today. Let me get this off my chest right now. My Latin brothers, my Latin sisters, anybody that likes a comic book, go see this movie. Just go see this movie. You don't need to know nothing going in. Nothing. You don't got to read a book. Nothing. Go see this movie. because I am sick and tired of Snyder people. Oh, Flash was better. You know what? Fuck you. Shut your face. Go see this movie. Like that. This is no, no. You're good. You're good. You're good, bro. You're good. Actually, real quick. My personal view, and I kind of want to talk about Stephen Amell real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. When when it first started happening, I was very ignorant. I didn't know like what was going on. I'm like in my mind, I go, it was like a bunch of rich people getting money. Then 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 me and my wife were just paying attention to the accounts. Like the perfect example was the guy that wrote the Daredevil episode for She-Hulk. His check was $3. His royalty check was $3. And in my mind, I'm going, there's no way. There's no way. And then I heard other stories like artists that I love and respect, and I go, what? There's just wow. Like this was because no one really pay attention to Hollywood like that. Like you have to really know the inner workings, and like I was real ignorant, but now in my mind, if they're entertaining us and giving us a good show, pay them their money. Pay them their money. This is not rocket science. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, I know that's not exactly what. Okay, the gist of what he said was basically, I don't support the strike. Now, I'm almost certain now that his words were misconstrued, and I wish I had the thing. But boy, that picture with him. Oh, did you? Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, okay. Hold on. We are gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, but this whole Stephen Amell thing, I was like, you should definitely know better than this. Like, I feel like it was a real spin in the face to the people who helped you get there and to the writers, especially someone like me who's been an avid lover of Arrow and all the other things that he's done. I feel like that was just like, wow, bro. Like, I just didn't expect this from you. Like, in the words of Tyra Banks, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, but I'm also mad because you know better than that. But yeah, do you have anything else to say about this?
No, I just want to know what was said to him because literally you see him with the picket
Right?
thing. I need to know. The his agent was like,
Yes.
"You don't get your motherfucking shit
Right.
together. Get it
Like,
together.
he probably texted him.
Why would you
He
like you he got a text and then he got
oh
cussed
yeah.
out. Like you need to get on that picket line today.
Right.
That's what you get for
Look,
talking shit.
exactly.
That's what you get for talking
Because
shit.
people gonna side eye you. Like, the next studio, the next like stage you're on, or set you're on, people are gonna side eye you like, oh, you didn't stand by us when we did this. And like his manager probably texts him like, bruh, the fuck. Like, like what you doing, bro? Like, it's wild to me that you would say that on in front of people. Like, it's one thing to think it and like to just be like, oh hey, they being over exaggerated or whatever. But and he also has the luxury of saying that because he is like, the Arrow catapulted him into another category, so he's making money now. So like, he probably thought maybe he didn't have all the information. He thought, oh, this is just the big actors trying to get more money. But also do your research because this involves your community. So like, just maybe it's me, maybe it's Maybelline, but do your research. But yeah, until
You should have been
you
talking shit.
shouldn't have been talking. Like, what this that's one of those things. Like, everybody has one of those thoughts that you just like, I should just keep this to myself. That was one of those thoughts that you should have been like, you know what? This ain't my cross to bear. Let me just back up. This ain't my testimony. But yeah, he in there. Now he's stuck wearing these jellies now, and he gonna have to sit there with it because we can't do that for you.
Boy.
But other than that, what else do we have here in the news? We have a preview of Loki season 2. Did you see it? Oh no! Have you not seen it yet?
I did, but it's just kind of like I gotta be
Be
okay.
real.
So I tell you something. It's not that I
Mhm.
don't want to see it. I'm burnt out with episodic TV.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
You know, I told you I finished watching The
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sopranos, and then I watched this show called Big Love.
Okay. Damn, I heard of that. I think.
Yeah, big. So I'll tell you what it is. Big Love is about this polygamist who's essentially trying to keep his family together.
Oh no.
I know how this
I
sounds.
know how this sounds, people.
But the show is really good, really well written. Like me and the missus, we went through all 5 seasons in about maybe a month, and I go, I don't know if I want Disney TV anymore.
That is an opinion.
It is. I just want really, really good TV.
I feel it.
I need to be engaged from.
I feel it. I feel that.
And I still haven't really healed from The Flash finale either. Because I'm gonna keep coming back to that. So then there's this other show that my girl put me on to right now that's called it's this Netflix show. It's about this thick girl who's dating around
Survival of the Thickest.
She's this
I have it on my list, and I was gonna watch it today. Oh yeah.
I watched like a clip, like a couple clips of it. Actually, no, we watched the whole episode together. It's actually good. I'm like,
I already knew it was because I love her.
I guess I'm watching this.
Right.
I guess I'm watching this. So, I did see the trailer, but I gotta be honest, man. There was not really much that I'm excited for.
I got you. And I feel that because I mean, well, to be honest, it's not going to be a lot of stuff coming out recent now because of the whole strike, and that's going to be going to be a real. It's going to be a hard time for television this coming up year. This like these next few months coming through, but also, yeah. I honestly, I look here. I'm craving. I'm fiending for more Marvel content. To be honest, it has been many a moon, and I'm just like, oh, I need it. Like, because while everybody was talking about, oh, there's no, like, they doing too much, Marvel is putting out too much stuff, fuck you, whoever thought that, because I need that in my life. Like, when it was literally as soon as the show ended, another show began, I inject that right into my veins. I was like, right after WandaVision, we got something else. We got was it Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Then we got that, and like it just kept coming out, and I was just like, this is what I need in my life. But yeah, I miss Marvel TV, and I ain't gonna hold you. I need them to hurry up and come up with that because it looks like it's gonna be good. And yeah, and I feel like Loki is kind of like a. I feel like he's the back template, like the background, what's going on in the background with the multiversal stuff, especially like, you know, with everything that's going on with them. Like, I feel like he's the one, well, that show started the whole, like, first of all, they brought TVA into it, and now the TVA is being used not only into the shows and the movies, but also into the comics. Like, they're bringing up the TVA in the actual comics now, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know, that they're getting, you know, the love that they're supposed to be getting. But other than that, I'm ready for them to come out with that. In other news, I think that DC is coming out with a new comic series that's going to star a Flash comic series that's going to star Kid Flash, Wallace West, and the Chinese Flash.
Avery.
Yes, Avery Ho. That's it, exactly. And that looks good actually, because I'm just starting to read the that DC Power issue, and I loved his little story, and it looks really good. But
with Aqualad,
it was
where they're ragging on each other.
Yes, when I tell you, I was like, oh, this content. I was like, the dialogue was so black. I loved it. Like, I was just like, this is amazing. I was like, this is how I knew. And some of the writers in it are people that I actually love and I follow. Like Evan Narcisse, Stephanie Williams, who is a goddess to me. She's a rising star. But like all those things, Other than that, I think that's about it on my news cap. You got anything else to put in there?
Actually, since we're here in DC, I haven't read anything in DC after, I guess, Nightwing.
Oh, okay. It's
Because I dropped it because like this story was going way too
yeah,
long. Like the Titans against the Devil, I'm like,
yeah.
and then it went into what's that story called? Night Terrors, which the whole line went just Night Terrors for 2 months. I'm like, you know,
A lot.
while I've heard good thing about
Right.
these books,
It's a lot.
this is a nice reset to read old
Right.
stories. And that's what I'm doing
Okay.
right now.
I feel that.
Like I just bought the Mayfex Steel
Mhm.
action figure, so it was nice to go back and read that
Got you.
read those stories. And then I got this guy, the man with the perfect
Oh
butt,
yeah. That's America's real
Nightwing.
ass right there, y'all.
And I got that figure, and it's been
Mhm.
nice. And I miss old DC,
Yeah,
but
I
I
crave for it.
realized that as I'm getting older, that some things are just not going to be for
I
me.
feel that. And I'm definitely on that side because DC, I'm not gonna lie, DC is doing a lot with it. They're trying to do too much where they're trying to revamp themselves and like get into the new era, but also they're doing too much with their sagas. Like I feel like they need to space out their big story arcs because we just got done with Lazarus Planet. Like, let's be real, we just got done with Lazarus Planet like a couple
Yeah,
months ago,
like just
and
got
then
done.
we go straight into Knights of Terror, like Knights of Terror. Like, and I'm like, that's a lot. Like, I feel like we should at least, and like, I feel like Knights of Terror, or Knights of Terror, whatever it's called. Doesn't it go into the Sandman stuff? I feel like it looks more like Sandman-ish. It reminds me of that. I'm a read it eventually.
I don't know
I'm gonna
so.
find it.
I don't know concept.
Because I started reading because since I've been at work I've been reading like more like paper, like reading my comics like paper instead of reading them digital and buying them. So like all the comics that I had from DC that I like haven't read because they were paper, I finally sat there and read, and I read a Wonder Woman comic, amazing, and it reignited my love for it. And honestly,
What book?
Wonder
What
Woman
issue?
797, Goddess Mode, and it's when she's betrayed by.
Oh, is it?
It's when she got betrayed by
Is
Hero.
it Tom King writing
No,
it?
it's Cloonan, something Cloonan. I forgot.
Becky.
I
Becky
think so.
Cloonan?
I think so. And
Okay. She's written Tim Drake. That's the only reason I remember.
okay, yeah. She did, and yeah, I love that little run that she's doing. Yeah, it is Becky Cloonan and Cloonan or whatever. Oh, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, baby. But yeah, like it was really good. And the first of all, they star in that issue starred 3 Black Amazons, Nubia, Philippus, and Faruka, and I was like, oh, this is dope. But like honestly, like that whole premise of the Lazarus Planet, I want to read it because like the gods, like, attacking the humans because of their, like, because they don't believe anymore. So I'm like, that's a smart premise, and I was like, I would actually love to read that, and I would love to do a story about that. Like, that would be amazing. But yeah, I've been reading that, and another comic that I've been reading is City Boy. For those who don't know what City Boy is, it is a new flagship. So it's under a flagship called We Are Legends, and We Are Legends was inspired actually by Milestone. We Are Legends is a flagship under DC that is only, well, not only, but yeah, it is only Asian writers, illustrators, and all of that. And it's like they follow under like the Milestone thing, and I love that they were inspired by Milestone because Milestone is one of the biggest and blackest like comic book writers. And I love that the Asians have, like, Asian and South Pacific Asian have that like outlet to do it. And City Boy is such an amazing book. His powers are so unique to where he connects to cities. He has like a city symbiosis where he can talk to the city and like the city talks back to him. It kind of reminds me of Manifold's power from X-Men, where he talks to the universe, but he like lives in Metropolis and he talks to the city in that kind of way. And it's a really good book. I feel like we should start doing that. We should start doing like little like book suggestions every week. I feel like that should be a thing for us. Like we should just do like a random book
All
we
right,
read.
so let's do them right now.
Mhm.
Because okay, so we're done with DC.
Yeah.
Okay, we're jumping into Marvel. So let me recommend this book
Do
right
it.
now. If you haven't read the current run of Miles Morales
Yes.
Spider-Man, get on this book. It is good. Good. Let me say. Let me do it my New Yorker voice when I'm not trying. Yo, you need to get.
I would say it sounds more time to Montana.
Like you need to get on this book. You need to sit down, have you a
That's
coffee, get you a bagel, and you sit down and you read this book. It's
Real talk.
good. It's good. You know what? Shush.
I did it.
From literally the last issue, him fighting the Hobgoblin.
Mhm.
I don't know the artist's name, and now I'm gonna go look it up. It looks like a straight
I love
anime
that.
fight.
I need to start reading that more.
Here, you know what? Let me get the writer. You know what? Because I could just
Look,
pull
I
it up
got
right
you.
now.
You want me to do mine?
Give me 30
I
seconds.
got you.
Give me 30 seconds.
I think
Yeah,
the book
yeah,
I would just do my little book. I feel like the book I would suggest is City Boy. City Boy is a really good book. For DC, for Marvel, of course, it's gonna be. Ooh, what is a good Marvel book? Because I would just be like anything X-Men is amazing right now. But yeah, damn, let me think. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be X-Men. The X-Men are the X-Men book is kind of dope and amazing, and I would just suggest it to anybody because it's they're taking them in a whole new direction. And I just love that shit, y'all. I just love it.
Okay,
Who's the illustrator?
I got it. I got it. Okay, so Cody Ziegler is the writer.
Okay.
So he's got two artists.
Oh, I know
It's
Cody Ziegler.
Federico Federico Vincentini. If I butcher it, I'm sorry. And Federico Sabatini. These guys are perfect for Miles. Miles is you can make Miles a shonen character and it'd be perfect for this world. It's high drama, it's high action, it's perfect. Marvel, keep this writer on this book as long as possible.
Okay.
It's that
Okay.
good. It's that good. My second, because you're really gonna take over X-Men, so let me just run through. I dropped Amazing Spider-Man because it's practically unreadable now. I don't know what Marvel was doing, and kind of
Yeah.
frankly, if I'm gonna pay $5 for other crap,
That's
I'm
real.
not gonna pick it up. I'm just bailing. I'm just gonna not do it. Avengers by Jed McKay.
Oh, is it good?
I don't know his artist. It's
Damn, I
good.
can't wait. Okay,
It's
good.
legit good. It's
That makes me feel so good.
legitimately good. We're I think 4 or 5
Yeah.
issues in. I like the roster.
Yeah.
It's Captain Marvel. It's Sam. It's Black Panther. It's Thor, Vision, Scarlet Witch,
Yes.
and Iron Man. That is a
Stacked.
OG squad right
Right.
there, man.
They are stacked, and I kind of love it. I've only read like literally the
And
first
then
issue,
like they're
first
dealing
page.
with like a multiverse shenanigan. They're fighting this group called the Ashen Coven, which sounds like a great rock name.
It does.
But it's bugged.
It does. God, I will go read.
It's bugged out. But that is another book I'm reading. And then finally, because I'm gonna take a break from talking, Daredevils by Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
Chip Zdarsky, because I always butcher the name.
Yeah.
They finished their run this week. I thought I wasn't gonna like it at first.
Oh no, Chip did his thing.
But it's actually a nice cap to the
That's
run.
good.
Because the book pick up from issue, I think it's 4. Okay, so from issue 13, it picks up 6 months later.
Okay.
And Elektra's still there.
Yes, that's what. That's the only reason I bought the book. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's the only reason I bought that first book of it, like issue 24 or 25.
She is. If you have not read this run, you're doing yourself a
Yes.
disservice.
I need to
It's-
finish that.
You have to pick up from the previous Chip Zdarsky run. He ran it for 30, I think it's 33 issues, and then this run.
Oh wait, he's doing so he did that issue, but he's also doing the current run as well. I didn't know that. I love that, and it's very rare
Yeah,
that you get to
correct.
see writers go into like from this run to a next run of the comic. Usually they always switch out the writers, but I love that because they understood, because Chip Zdarsky, he understood the assignment, which he usually always does. Like most things that he writes is amazing.
If you wanna know how good he is, he writes Spider-Man better than the current writer.
Period. Yeah, and you know what? That makes my ass itch because I love Zeb Wells, and I was like, you know better than that.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
Zeb Wells, I love him. Like Zeb Wells is an amazing writer. Look, don't let this run of Spider-Man deter y'all from Zeb Wells' writing. He is a great writer. He knows how. Like he did a run of X Factor, I believe, and he does a lot of other things. He writes very good stuff. And no, I'm sorry, he did Hellions. The recent thing of Hellions, like in 2020, or I believe, that was an amazing run. But he just, like, I don't know, he didn't understand the assignment with them, and because it's misery porn at this point, and we all know what it is.
Yeah.
We all know what it is. But yeah, Chip Zdarsky, I love his writing. Like he writes both Daredevil and Elektra very well, and I can't wait to see what he does with them. Yeah, and you know what? I found a book. I know a book that I can suggest for Marvel. For those who like it, watch. Well, for people who like magic and shit, and who like Scarlet Witch, I would suggest reading the Scarlet Witch run. The Scarlet Witch run is really good. It is actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it is really good. Especially since like she's already a big character who is also very OP powerful, and the way that they find things to the way they find villains and problems for her to solve that only she can solve. I was like, this is such a smart thing to do, and it's written so beautiful. Like she hasn't been written this well in a while. I can't even hold you, and I'm very much loving the direction that they're taking her in. And of course, like for those who don't know, they it's written by, I believe, Steve Orlando. Yes, and I love Steve Orlando. He did a lot with the whole Marauders, his run of Marauders. It was a lot, but it was still good. So but yeah, that's my take. We you ready to get into it, or are we going? We got something else to say.
Oh, let's see. Anything else we want
Right?
to say?
We probably gonna think about it after the show is over. We like, oh fuck.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So people,
I'm gonna just sit back.
Look, all right. I was like, let me know, because I was like, you ready too, so you know the feedback. So ladies and gentlemen, we are about to talk about something that I've been waiting to talk about for a minute. I actually did a podcast with Joe of X, his podcast with Joe of X, and his co-host Meg, who is also Hellfire Trading Company on TikTok. We're going to talk about, it's called Krakoa tonight. Y'all should check it out. But also, we're going to talk about the Hellfire Gala. And I've been waiting to talk about the Hellfire Gala. I've been saving my best comments for this. So for those who have been, I guess, living under a rock, the X-Men and mutants as a whole have been in have been set to a new plateau. They no longer live in the world of man. They have their own nation called Krakoa, and Krakoa is now the mutant nation state where they handle their own problems. They do their own stuff. And it's been a beautiful thing, especially being a minority and seeing, this minority group in Marvel come together as a whole, like good mutants, evil mutants, and all in between. They have all decided, hey, we're going to come together and we're going to make this land. And they have just been on a rise since 2019, I guess. But a big thing that they've been doing is they've been doing the Hellfire Gala, which has been on their third year running. and it's very rare that you get an event that's not like a worldwide event, like a actual event that goes throughout Marvel. But this event it spans throughout the whole it spans throughout every year, and it's an annual thing that people look forward to. It's like think of the Met Gala, but also states dinner, like for their nation. And every year we get the looks, the everything, but there's always a drama that comes with it. And boy, my Lord in Christ in heaven, they had a lot going against them this year. So the Hellfire Gala of this year is an amazing thing, because every year we get to vote for who we want to be on the team. At least one, we get to pick one person that we want on the team. And we got it. I don't even know where to begin with this, but we're just going to go into it. First and foremost, they go into Miss Marvel. They cut how do I put it? They go straight into Miss Marvel. As all of us know, Miss Marvel tragically died in Spider-Man issue 26, 27,
no,
25. Are you right?
No, 25.
Yes. So she died in Marvel in 25, but y'all already know my thoughts about that, so we ain't got to go into it. But the first part of this book, they bring Miss Marvel back to life, and they bring Kamala in. What's up?
To those that are wondering, we do have thoughts on the matter. To remind y'all what we said ultimately, and giving Aaron and catch the
okay.
The book sucks.
Yeah, I didn't even read it.
Just a friendly reminder that Amazing Spider-Man sucks.
Right.
Okay,
no, you good, because I didn't even gonna hold you. As soon as I read that, as soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh no, I'm done. You don't got to tell me no more. I ain't gonna read nothing else. Cause y'all let this brown girl die for this white man. It just doesn't sit well with me. But they bring her back in the first few pages of the Hellfire Gala, and right out the gate they explain that she is both mutant and inhuman. And the way they explain her power set, why her powers haven't manifested as of right now, it's due to the fact that she became an inhuman before she became a mutant. So they believe that the Terrigen Mist kind of inhibited her powers as a actual mutant, so they don't know what her mutant power can be or will be. But they say eventually, she will probably manifest it. So that was a good thing to bring out right out the gate, because I was just like, I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to do it. But Cyclops, of course, being her best friend from one of her friends from the Champions, which that is another book I heavily suggest reading. Right. But yeah, he decided to use his power, his swing to push her up the queue, and right out the gate they try to convince her, or Emma Frost specifically tries to convince her to come out as a mutant and let the world know, especially due to what's going on in the Krakoan world, in the mutant world. And for those who don't know, for the past few years, Orchis is a company who, I guess an underground. Think of S.H.I.E.L.D. but evil. Think of Hydra but for mutants. They have been systematically working behind the scenes in a lot of different mutant books, and they've kind of gotten back to basics with it. They've been working behind the scenes and have been throwing little Easter eggs in the books for the past 3 years of what's to come, and they finally implemented it at the Hellfire Gala. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of love about this era of X-Men. They've kind of gone back to basics to where they're very strong at the long con. There are little things that happen, like last year in the Hellfire Gala, there was a moment where Dr. Stasis literally sneaks into one of their medicine facilities, and actually can take control of it, but they never say what else happens after that. We had to wait a whole year to figure out what's going on. And the way that they're written is so amazing. Now I'm not gonna so let's get into it before I my mind is so frazzled right now. I'm like, I don't know where to begin, where to start. Let's do it. So we get into Emma Frost trying to convince Miss Marvel to actually come out as a mutant, but she's not ready for that. And to be honest, as someone who's had a gay brother, and she has a gay brother, you should know better than to just try to force someone to out themselves before they're ready. Like she literally just found out she was a mutant as she's being resurrected from an egg, a mutant resurrection egg. One of the things I do love that they clothed her, especially being a sorry, excuse me, especially being a Muslim girl. Like I'm glad that because usually we get the whole they come out of the egg naked, but they show her coming out of the egg, but they put a robe on her, and I love that they give her that modesty. I wish the robe wasn't that short, but you know what? We can only ask for but so much. But honestly, it was tasteful that they at least put clothes on her. But we go into it with her like origin being explained, and that one day she will manifest her power. And I'm glad that, and somehow Cerebro knew. Nobody knew it except for Cerebro. Cerebro already had her in a backup. I was already backing her up, and I love that fact. The looks. Let's get into the looks. Are amazing. Every year they always come out and step out. My look for this year is going to be Rasputin 4, which we will also get into. This year we kind of get a lot of different things happening, especially with Jean and Scott. Jean and Scott, who were the ones who suggested that the X-Men do a squad for humans and mutants. They decided this year.
Professor Krakoa.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. Aren't Jean and Scott kind of beefing at the
They
moment?
are. That's exactly what I was about to get into. Yep. They are.
Carry on. Real quick, because TikTok sent me a thing. We can upload the podcast on TikTok now.
Say less.
I'm already on episode 36.
Oh, you already been working on. Okay. All right. Look, say less. Okay. All right. Cool.
Rick James.
Cute. Okay.
Carry on.
Jesus. All right. That excited me. Fuck, where was I? Okay. Jean and Scott. So Jean and Scott, for those who haven't known, have been on the rocks for a while now, just because Scott has been wanting to unalive and kill the Brood, like do a full genocide on the Brood, which I get. The Brood are a parasitic race who literally go in and like burrow their way into people's stomachs and have their babies. Like they're evil, but also not all of them are. And Jean is like, we shouldn't destroy all of them. It's only a few of them that are making the problem. And she kind of points out that he has a way of human thinking. He's still thinking like a human. And even though he is like pro-mutant, like we've seen for the past like over 10 years that Cyclops has been very pro-mutant and he's very little like to do with the humans, but he still has a way of thinking in a human way. And one of the big arguments was the fact that Jean explains that Cyclops is a great captain of Krakoa because he thinks like them. And he says, thank you. But she said, that's not a good thing. She said, we are not like them. And you need to understand that, we can't be like them because they don't want us to be like them as well. And we shouldn't have to. And the fact that Jean says this is kind of wild, because I was like, Jean has always been a staunch, like, I feel like of all of Xavier's students, she's the one who personifies his dream. What's up?
Okay, so I'm gonna slightly defend Cyclops a little bit. I wouldn't want to go to Araco. Right?
Oh yeah, that.
I wouldn't want to go to you with my wilding ass cousins.
Yeah.
No, fam.
I'll be real.
Motherfuckers be trying to kill themselves every day. No,
I ain't gonna hold you.
No, my happily ruby quartz behind will stay on Earth and protect Earth. You, Jean and my cousins can go on Araco and go act the fool. Go hang out with your sister with a crazy son.
No. Look, and for those who don't know, Jean was also Jean also helped create Araco with the rest of the mutants. and she asked him straight up, why haven't you come into Morocco? Which I get, but he also made a point to where, that's going to give the humans a reason to exile us, to want to give us somewhere else to go. And I can't lie, he does have a point to that extent, but also it's a homeworld for mutants. Like, you would think that would be something that you would want. And I understand. Let's be honest. I'm gonna be completely real. His white ass do not need to go to Morocco. I don't think he would know what to do in Morocco. I feel like Jean would be like Storm in the fact that she would try to immerse herself in their culture. Like, I feel like she would try to, understand their, like, their codes and their moral code and everything, and try to, like, go into it. She wouldn't fall into, especially the fact of, like, the fighting and killing thing, but I feel like she would if she, like, eventually. Like, but I feel like Madeline will be better on Morocco than she would, though. I feel like Madeline would be amazing on Morocco, to be honest. But yeah, like, they make a point to that extent, and then that brings attention with them. And she says that she's going to be leaving the X-Men, and she said this hasn't changed her opinion. But if you decide that you want to still talk after that or not, just let me know. And she goes away. And I'm like, oh, she's like, look, I'm going to be all right. You just let me know what you think, because I still got a backup man waiting for me. Like, Wolverine is still at the house waiting for me. So you just let me know what you decide, and I'm going to be cool. But yeah, like.
Wait. Real quick. Speaking of our favorite stabby claw mutant, did you read it?
Yes. Yes.
What?
I think you would if you haven't.
That ending kind of was trash.
Issue 35.
Yeah,
I liked it. It wasn't an ending, but yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a smart choice.
Like, it was like a lackluster ending.
I can see that a little bit, but I think it was a good ending to open him up for more things later on, though. Like, I especially with the whole thing, like, I'll be here whenever you guys need me, but I'm done with Krakoa. I completely got it. Like, especially, like, being that especially after what Beast did to him. And side note, for those who don't know, Beast, long story short, Beast ended up taking Wolverine didn't agree with what Beast was doing in X-Force, so Beast and Wolverine decided to leave. Beast said, no, we ain't having that. He took him, killed him, and then resurrected him, but put a collar on him to control him, and basically made him go out and do like little, like, clandestine missions to go, like, kill these government officials and all this other stuff to, like, protect the sanctity of Krakoa. And he did that for months, and nobody knew about it. He told Hope and the Five to tell Jean that Wolverine won't be coming home, everything. Like, and he just basically controlled him, and to the point where eventually he got out. But that left a stain in his mouth, because now the Quiet Council was like, we're going to leave Beast to his devices, so we won't, but we're publicly we'll denounce him, but let him do what he's doing. I was like, that's a choice. But yeah, like, they go into it like that. And other things that's going on, Destiny and Mystique are at odds now. My favorite chaotic lesbian couple is just going through it as well, because Destiny has been holding everything back from her, from Mystique. She was also complicit in the sins of Sinister, and she knew that what was going to happen, but she also knew that was the only future in which Mystique had the longest to live. So she decided to go along with sins of Sinister in his plans, and that left a nasty taste in Mystique's mouth, because she's like, you have the choice you have to tell me that should be my choice whether I live or die. But yeah, like, a lot of things are going on with them, but we get this beautiful moment in the Hellfire Gala with the comic with Miss Marvel and Xavier, which I absolutely loved, and it kind of just gave me a very, this is who Professor Xavier is. It reminded me that Professor Xavier was a good guy. Like, he explains to her, like, look, you don't have to come out when you come out when you're ready. You don't, like, you don't work on anybody else's time. But he says that we had hoped that you would announce your mixed heritage, and it's not just that we will be proud to have you among us, but that we might help change the minds of those who fear us. And he just allowed her to, yeah.
Ooh. I'll give you a quick break. I love that
Yes.
scene because you said it best. When you're ready,
Yes.
you need a Miss Marvel.
Very much so.
You need somebody
Mhm.
happy-go-lucky but ready to throw down with the
Right.
mutants if the proverbial shit hits
Exactly.
the fan. I'm like I know that I told you this was kind of coming
Yeah.
because of the MCU
Mhm.
shows, but the comics handle it a lot
Yes.
better. And
So much so.
one thing I don't know if you talked about it yet because I'm in and out sometimes. Because of her being an Inhuman and being
Yep.
exposed to the
Mhm.
Terrigen Mist, you don't know what her
Right.
power is.
Right. And that's one of those things I'm excited about.
So now I'm a little curious on what's your actual power.
Yes. I feel like it's gonna be that light ship.
Because now I feel I and we haven't got a champions reunion either. Because I don't know, like it hasn't been addressed since she died.
Thank
Like
you.
I want Miles to punch Pete in his face. But now they kind of erased it, so Miles doesn't even know she died.
Thank you. Like, and that's one of those things I want. And that's the reason I always hated the fact that she died in Spider-Man because, like, I don't know if I've said it before on here, but like I feel like I've said it before on here about her dying in Miles' book. It would have been such a smart choice for her to die for Miles. And that would have opened his story up to so many other things. Like, especially that could have been a canon event for him, to be honest. Like, especially because everybody has that one every Spider-Man has that one person who ends up dying for them or dying because of them, and they feel guilty about it. That would have been a great moment for him to have her die and him have to sit with that and have to live with that for a little bit and not know that she was alive yet, and like him having to go on like a bit of have him go on a darker path, like how like Pete went with his Black Spider-Man suit. I feel like that would have been a great moment for us to get Miles being that guy to like have to go through losing one of his best friends and go into like a whole darker arc. That would have been an amazing moment for him, and I feel like they missed an opportunity to do so. But yeah, like I feel like that was I love the way they explained that how her mutant power is inhibited because of the mutant Terrigen Mist, and they also explained that they don't know what would have happened if her mutant power manifested before the Terrigen Mist had hit. And I love that they kind of explained that like it would kind of would have been either or, and we don't know what would have happened to you. It would either you would have also turned into a Inhuman but also a mutant, or you would have died like the other people. Because he also one of the other things that I love that they explain is I'll read that part. It says you're lucky that Cerebro correctly identified you at all. The Mist has always had a negative effect on mutant physiology. Rogue is one of our most powerful mutants, but she's extremely vulnerable to the Mist and was nearly killed by it. There's no telling what would have happened if your X gene had expressed itself and you became Inhuman later. We posit that your mutant gift never emerged after being suppressed by your Inhuman one. We can help you with that and unlock your mutant potential. I thought that was such a smart choice, especially bringing up the Rogue part of it, because Rogue is one of their most powerful mutants. She still has the strength of Miss Marvel, of Captain Marvel, who is one of the most powerful people in the world. And I love that, while also saying how giving us a whole, a throwback to Inhumans versus X-Men, but also reminding us that Rogue got really messed up by that Terrigen Mist, and she almost died because of it. I love that they kind of remind us of that, but they also kind of give Rogue a kryptonite, if you will. I feel like that was a smart kind of choice to be like, oh yeah, but this is her kryptonite kind of as well. And yeah, it just reminded me like this is who Professor Xavier is as like to his core. And like we finally get that soft moment of him not just being like, oh, I have to do the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. We kind of just get a moment to sit with him and just being that guy.
And this is the last moment of the niceties in this.
Right. That part.
So.
That part.
this moment in the book was the
best moment.
nicest part of the
Yes.
book.
The last light moment.
Everything else
Tragedy.
is messy
Right.
AF. But for time, we can't do
Right.
everything.
Exactly.
But give the main points, because I do want to talk about X-Men 25 a little bit.
Oh yeah,
about
we
the
will
ending.
get into that. We definitely will get into that because I love that issue. Yeah.
Okay, but just
Yeah, I'm
get
going.
into the, because we went too long.
Yeah, you're
on
right.
that
You're
arc.
right. I'm gonna speed this up. I got you. I did the last thing I want to bring up about Miss Marvel is I love the fact that Rasputin 4 also knows Miss Marvel as she's one of her heroes. Like Rasputin 4 is from the future of Sins of Sinister, and she managed to find her way here. For those who don't know, but the fact that she acknowledges her as one of the great heroes, and she also says something in it that is really important. She says what is it? She said the great X removed Cerebro and gazed upon you with his clear blue eyes. That must mean you must be a mutant of tremendous importance. I thought that was an amazing moment because we do rarely get to see him with his helmet off, but when he does take his helmet off, you can tell that there's a softer moment and there's an actual conversation that's going to be had. And I love the fact that they kind of had that moment. I love that Rasputin 4, Jerry Duggan also says that Rasputin 4 and Miss Marvel will actually be like real close in the next upcoming X-Men comic. So I'm really excited to see about that. In this, we also get a moment from Gods, the new comic that's coming out by Jonathan Hickman, and we get to see Win, one of the gods from it, and that moment was a really good moment with him and Magic, because Magic obviously knows him from somewhere, I guess from the magical community, but he makes this point to be like, there's a story going around about the beginning days of your great mutant experiment of yours, and that one that stood at the top of the world and told a gathering of humans that they were changing. And I love the fact that he's just like, he said that you have new gods now, and he's like, I work for the old gods. And I kind of can tell that that's going to lead into something else, because I kind of love the fact that he's a part of some kind of he's a part of the old, god regime, I guess. And like we can see that that's going to lead up to something, and I love the fact that we get that moment to really introduce ourselves to them. We get beautiful moments with Kingpin and in his girlfriend, what's his name? Oh, his wife, sorry, Typhoid Mary, which yeah, I did. And you know what? I was very skeptical about that, but also seeing them in this comic, I'm like, I get it. I thought it was just like a whole little, like maybe like a marriage of convenience, but no, he actually loves her, and I kind of love that. Like, especially since she's like a schizophrenic and she has all these like multiple personalities. I love that they have this little like relationship. But right out the gate, the treehouse is being attacked, so Cyclops goes to help and see what's going on, and right after that, the Avengers get called to the DC because Captain Krakoa, quote unquote, is attacking the government officials. So all the Avengers leave to go see what's going on, and Rogue goes with them because she sees that even Steve Rogers puts out the call, and Steve Rogers never puts out that call, so she goes out and help. But then we get to the vote. First of all, Jean Grey looks stunning as always. We get this beautiful moment when we get to see her talking about the X-Men and talking about the next generation of hero. We're ready to let the next generation of heroes come up and step up, and we get this beautiful moment where they pass the torch on to Synch and Talon as the new leaders of the X-Men, while her and Scott step down. I love that moment. I was waiting for this moment for years, because the second that Synch has came out of his egg, I've been in love with him. Like I love his story. I love his love story with him and Talon. It's amazing. And it's amazing. But yeah, they pass it on to them, but they also vote for the new X-Men. And when I tell you, this is probably the best. When I tell you I saw this page and I screamed, Antonio. So for this page,
it's a good squad, man.
And not only a good squad.
It's a can
I
do it?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Can I do it? Okay, so literally you have Juggernaut, Cannonball,
Yeah.
Frenzy, Sink
Yep,
and
yep.
Talon, Jubilee. I think
No,
that's it. Right?
Dazzler and
everybody.
Prodigy.
Oh crap,
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
right.
All the people,
That is a mixed
all the
team.
people that we voted for, all the people that we had a choice to vote for this year, we got them. And not only that, it is probably the most diverse team of X-Men that we have ever had on a roster together. Until like I just before I get into that,
Can I do it?
before
Can I do it?
yeah,
Can I do it?
before
Can
I let my boy
please
go
do
into
it?
that, I just want to say I was so happy to get this team. Also, Frenzy. And yeah, then literally the next page, y'all. Go ahead, boy. Go ahead, my boy. Go ahead, do your thing.
Wait. I got a bit. Nimrod is like, oh yeah, kills
Right.
everybody except.
And then with a pun, this man had the nerve to drop in on them with a pun, literally saying like he comes out of the orbit, and Jubilee says, "Oh look, a shooting star." It's Nimrod dropping down on them, and he literally says, "Sorry to drop in." Bitch, I know you lying. Not you finna kill us all with a pun. I know you. Look, I was done. It just, whew, God.
My man Nimrod came in like the Kool-Aid man.
Real talk. He really low key did. He really low key did.
Oh, and then Juggernaut did his thing for a little bit. Sage and not Sage, Sink and Talon got away pretty much okay. But
that's it.
Cannibal
yeah, that also questioned me. That also I was confused about.
Ooh, and Roberto doesn't know about it yet, does he?
Oh God!
I just realized that Roberto, because they're dealing with the craziness on
yeah.
I don't think Roberto
he doesn't.
knows about it
and
yet.
You know another thing that everybody else forgets. So Jubilee has this moment. She lives for a little bit, but then of course, Nimrod stomps her. Have we all forgot that Jubilee has a child and now he's an orphan? Shogo is an orphan now, and we just all forget about him because we don't know where he at. First of all, this man is somewhere on maybe on Krakoa, maybe not, but we just know that he's an orphan now, and we just gotta live with that. And like the book only gets worse from here, y'all. So Magic tries to teleport everybody out, but she's been infected by Orcus's little nano sentinels, and she can't use her mutant abilities. So she has to get out. She has to, try to work with Psylocke and try to help everybody out. Then we get this moment of Iceman fighting Nimrod, and we already see that Iceman has been in his bag like since the creation of Araco, and he's been feeling himself. And Nimrod kills the fuck out of him, guys. It's pretty gruesome. He like puts something in him that burns him from the inside out and literally melts him and all the ice out of him, and his best friend Kitty and his boyfriend Romeo ends up seeing it. For those who remember, in Humans vs. X-Men, remember when young Iceman came to the future, and he had an Inhuman boyfriend named Romeo? That is him. And Romeo has come from the Romeo also had little adventures where he went to the past or whatever, and he went through the time and whatever, he got sped up or whatever, and now he's the same age. I love it. I love he's not with Christian anymore. I don't know why. I just didn't like him with Christian. But they end up killing Bobby. Then we have this beautiful fastball special with Jean and Juggernaut where she like shoots him at Nimrod, and like they have this big old little fight, and then of course Nimrod ends up winning, and like it looks like Juggernaut's head is smashed in, but on Cerebrocast, Jerry Duggan has.
Hey, keep talking.
I got you.
I'll be right back.
In Cerebrocast, Jerry Duggan says in his interview that what we did when we voted, what we really did was vote for who we don't want to die in this vote. So even though Juggernaut's head looks smashed in, he's not. He's alive somewhere, and he will be alive. Then we get this wacky moment of the Sentinels coming through. We get this moment where people start attacking, where the Sentinels come in and start attacking, but also we get Dr. Stasis and Omega Sentinel coming through the portal, doing this little dance, this little jig, and she like Omega Sentinel like dips Dr. Stasis, who is a clone of Mr. Sinister for those who don't know, and like they go in all flamboyantly and they explain the plan of what's going on. He explains to the world that he explains to Xavier that they have poisoned the drugs that the mutants have given to the humans freely, and that he has put a kill switch in them, helped by MODOK, or as they call him in here, Dr. MODOK. And they show it, and right at the Hellfire Gala, they show they activate the kill switch, and all the humans start attacking each other and harming self-harming each other. And Emma Frost can't stop them because it's a chemical imbalance that they can't control. And then we get the Krakoan gates being manipulated by Orchis, which was done by the horticulturalists. The horticulturists are from X-Men Green in a different, in the first run of the Krakoan Age X-Men. But yeah, we get them escaping through the gate. Then we get another fastball special, which is from Strong Guy and Kitty, and Kitty ends up being the saving grace of this whole thing, because it's funny that she's not able to. And one of the biggest things about Kitty, well, I'm sorry, I'm calling her Kitty, Kate. One of the biggest things about Kate in this new Krakoan Age is that she can't go through the gates, and she's never been able to go through the gates, but she's able to pass through any technology. So it's kind of ironic that this is the one technology that she can't pass through. But she's able to disrupt the Sentinels as they come through and destroy them. Then we get this moment of the five helping them, and we get this beautiful moment of Rasputin and Miss Marvel attacking each other. But then we get to Nimrod throwing Juggernaut into the place where they're having the Hellfire Gala, and the whole place exploding. And we get this Omega moment of Jean Grey, and Jean Grey literally telekinetically shields all of the I guess occupants of the Hellfire Gala and saves all of them. And she says this beautiful, she says, "Everyone in Orchis, listen very carefully. Tonight you trespassed against us and chose violence. Let all of those thoughts go, and you will leave, and you will survive to see the dawn." First of all, I love that. That's a beautiful line. I think they always have a way of paralleling kind of like religion into it. And when she says that, "Tonight you trespassed against us," and it kind of reminds me of forgive our trespasses, we forgive those who trespass against us. I love that moment where we get to see her like kind of be like, "It's okay, I'm going to put them down." And she said, "I'm going to put our friends down. I'm going to change your mind." At that moment, you knew that she was actually going to go inside people's minds and literally change them. And I was like, that's a moment where I feel like I know it's intrusive, but also like you should do it, like facts. But she goes in and she like she stops them, and she tries to go in and like actually, about to do it. But just as she's about to do it, Moira X jumps out of one of the portals, and since she is literally a robot now, she can't be sensed telepathically. Moira stabs Jean Grey in the throat or in the chest, and just like horrible. But and it's right as Jean's calling to Cyclops and letting him know that she needs him to come back. And then we get this harrowing moment of just like seeing Scott on the floor in front of the treehouse, and the treehouse is on fire. And he literally, one of the literally things says, "Jean," he says, "I can't join you right now." He says, "I can't feel my legs." And he said, "Jean, why can't I feel you, Jean?" And when I tell you that gave me chills. I couldn't believe what happened. Like, y'all know. Yeah, go ahead, because that's your boy.
And then the look. No, I'm not gonna even talk about Cyclops. When Logan realized what happened,
yes,
my man was like, snick.
He was about it.
Ready to go to work.
Ready. Like, and look here, and this is one of those moments where it reminds you that Jean is an Omega level for a reason. Seeing her get stabbed and everything, it sends all the other mutants into a frenzy, and everybody starts going on, because that's number one right there. That's Omega 1. So we finna go into it. Then just as they're about to attack, Moira puts a knife to Xavier's throat and tells them to stop, to make them stop. And she says, "I can't." He said, "I can't." He said, "Do it, or we'll kill everybody, kill the humans who are doing the medicines." So he tells them to stop, and he tells them to surrender. So right after that, Stasis gives his terms to them. He goes on to say that this is a cancer surgery, Charles, and you are a cancer. So he gives them terms to which they have to obey. He says that any mutant found on Earth or who returns back to Earth, we will kill a human. The second time it happens, we will kill 10 humans. And then he said then 100, and I suppose you're smart enough to gather the rest. And it kind of goes into like he kind of puts an ultimatum on them to if you don't tell all the mutants to leave now and go into the portals, then we will start killing humans. So he says, how much do you really love humans? And it kind of puts in the emphasis on how much do you really love humans enough. So he ends up going in to making the mutants go through the portal. Now this is the moment where we get a beautiful moment of Firestar and Jean. Jean gives Firestar an ultimate mission to where she has to go undercover with Orcus and infiltrate them and be the one and say that she's the one who's been helping Dr. Stasis under it. So in Jean's last moment, she telepathically implants memories of Firestar going to Dr. Stasis and being an undercover agent. And she says you cannot tell anyone. She says the people will be there for you when you need them. But it shows the moment of them going through it, of going through this and like sending them out. Then we get this as he's sending the people through the portal, we get this red triangle moment. I love that red triangle moment where we get to see the resist in the red. And we kind of get an emphasis on what the red triangle defense is. For those who don't know, that Xavier trains all his like students in the red triangle moment to where they can resist telepathy, including his own. So like the people who do,
because of his on
exactly, and like and they also.
90s,
right,
baby. 90s, baby.
And they also like he also specifies that he made this red triangle defense because of Emma Frost, when she was evil, and I was like, okay, this is a smart choice. And but yeah, she says she also, but then we go back to Jean and Firestar, and we get this moment where she says like to her, we're mutants. She says we are mutants. We only know fight, resist. And then she goes and talks to Scott and lets Scott know that she's dying and she loves him. But she also goes to Wolverine, like you said, and she like tells him what's going on. And she says to him, I loved you too, and I need you to do what you do best for me. And I was like, okay. So, and he continues to just.
My man said, word?
He said, baby gave me permission to? Oh, it's a wrap. And then we get this harrowing moment of seeing Jean's bones on the floor while Charles Xavier is standing over it. And it's such a harrowing moment. But yeah, we get to see Destiny tries to tell Mystique to go through the portal, but she resists and throws herself off a cliff. And that was crazy. I hope that she's still alive because she has a healing factor.
Okay. Real quick,
I got you.
Because eventually, we got to talk about 25.
Okay. Look, all right. The only thing that we need to bring up there is the fact that Kitty can go through the portal now because Orcus is able to infiltrate it. The X-Men, the mutants who are able to resist.
I want to do the speech.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about what she does.
Okay, I got you.
So 25.
Wait! Before you do that, my bad. Before you do that, I do want to do I do want to talk about the rogue moment that they do and the mutants that end up resisting it. So we get a beautiful moment of the rogue and R.I.P. Lourdes. Lourdes ended up teleporting all the mutants who resisted it and got them out. And we get we have Sync, Talon, Psylocke, Bishop, and Angel, all these other people who are top tier, and we're going to see them go into it. But we see that Kitty's able to go to the portal, and she ends up going, and we're going to get, and that's where we get into X-Men 25. But just as they're about to kill Professor Xavier, Rogue comes in and rips Moira in half, and she takes Professor Xavier. And Professor Xavier has this moment where he tries to sense the mutants that went through the portal to sense them in Morocco, but he says he can't sense anyone. They're all gone. He says that he said I sent them through a meat grinder, which I don't think they're not dead. We all figured that out. But he tells her to go and avenge them, and that leads into, of course, Uncanny Avengers. And then we get into X-Men 25. Please edit some of my stuff out because I know I when I get about X-Men.
No, I'm leaving.
Like I was like, please look. If there's some stuff that don't match, let me know. Like I'm cool with it.
It's too. I'm leaving it in there because that's a lot of suffering silence. So X-Men 25 picks up a few weeks. No, it picks up a few weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
So as Aaron said, Kitty goes through the portal. She's never went through the portal. She's on. I think she's in Israel. She wakes up in Israel. Yeah.
Jerusalem.
She wakes up in Israel. And Orcus.
Yeah.
Jerusalem. Gotcha. Thank you. She wakes up in Jerusalem. And she basically John Wicks everybody in Orcus. I mean, between her ninja skills and her phasing abilities, forget it, fam. You ever heard the expression, sometimes you want to throw a motherfucker at another motherfucker? She literally bro, she literally put two dudes together dead. She takes a gun, puts it in the dude's head, never shoots the dude. But,
you good?
Oh, what? Oh, okay. But the last dude got it the worst. He was like, and I'm gonna read it verbatim. He was like, wait. The X-Men saved me. I was up on the bloom and I was sucked out of space and they saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's what the X-Men do. They save everybody they can, even their enemies. A shame that the X-Men are dead now. Snaps the dude's neck, and she's crying because she doesn't know what happened yet. Her people, some of her best friends, her family died by rogue people. I'm almost said Russian. By anti-mutant legions just trying to kill mutants. All they want to do is be left alone. And Charles' idea from a peaceful world is, I'm sorry, it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
Now we snapping necks. Now we doing the work. Which leads into Uncanny Avengers.
Right. Oof. Wait, before we get into that, I did want to say a couple things about that X-Men event. First of all, the crazy look in her eye when she killed that man, I was like, oh, you can tell she a different person now. That changed her fundamentally. And like
she became Shadow
with a K. And
Shadow Cat.
And I love that moment where we get to see her sitting with her rabbi. And we get to talk. She gets to talk about it, and it goes. It's a flashback to when she first, couldn't go through the portal, and she has this moment where she's scared that she's not a mutant, and then her rabbi asks her if she still believes in God after all the things she's been through, and she still says yes. And I'm like, that's a beautiful moment where we get to see, she still has her faith, and she still, believes in her, Jewish faith and everything. I did also like the moment with Firestar with Dr. Stasis in front of the portal and she tries to, and he tells her to demonstrate that the portal can't be crossed through by mutants, and she touches it, but then we see this moment where one tear drops down her face. I thought that was a beautiful moment to give her, and that moment where she says
when Kitty goes to get her swords. And Ogun left her a note.
Yes.
You'll be forever the weapon that
Yes. I love that. And and we all know, for those who don't know about Ogun's story, I feel like, even though she was kidnapped and she was brainwashed and everything, but I feel like that's one of those moments. I feel a lot of people thought oh wait, why would she want to purposely go back to a time where she was being brainwashed and controlled and all that stuff? But also it kind of goes to what magic does, how magic took Limbo from Belasco, a person who is literally, assaulting her as a child sexually and physically, and then she takes it and takes control of it and takes power in it. And I feel like that's what they're doing with her. They like give her a chance to own her, own the power, what's going on with her, because it kind of goes to those moments, because those moments define you. Those moments don't define you, but they shape who you are. And I feel like it's her finally taking control of that and being like, yes, this is something that happened to me. And even though it's not all of who I am, it is a part of me. And I love that they give her that moment. But that Firestar moment, I kind of can't wait to see what Firestar story. But I also do like the in Hellfire Gala when Rogue was like, sleep with both eyes open, sugar. And she flies off with Professor. I love that moment. But we get this moment where we see what's happened to Cyclops, and Cyclops being his eyes are stitched closed by Dr. Stasis, and like he's paralyzed still from what happened. But we also get to see Sync taking leadership already in the new X-Men, and we get to see him like sit with what's going on and have to work with it. And we see that Shadowcat has been profoundly changed by what's going on with her, and she's cut her hair, she's gone into the ninja garb, everything. But he also explains that she is the only one who can go through the gates, even though Rasputin 4 is literally a clone of her, and she has the same ability. And even Sync, who is able to go through the gate, who can, of course, synchronize with her power, he's not able to do it either. He says only she can do it, and they need her to be, more mindful of that. And like she's kind of going on a whole like rant or what. She's kind of into her own bag. She's kind of in her Wolverine era, to be honest. Like she's kind of in her Wolverine era to the point where I'm like, okay, cool. We got to see what's going on. We get this moment with Emma Frost and Miss Marvel, which was amazing. Emma Frost telepathically like wipes the moment of Miss Marvel and Kamala's death from her parents, so they won't know, and so they won't have to like live with her dying, and so Kamala can just continue to live her normal life, and when she's ready, she'll come out. But we can see that Emma Frost has also been changed by this as well. But yeah, that's about it. Let's get into Uncanny Avengers. You go first, because I've been talking a lot.
I gotta say, from first read, I like what I saw. I need to see more of this team in action.
I feel it.
Because I like how Psylocke was immediately on that fuck shit, where she was just like,
yes,
I will fight everybody in the Avengers if you're about this.
Everybody.
It told Captain America straight up, where are the Avengers? I'll fight. Everybody can catch these swords. Everybody.
Let me know if you want these hands now.
And Steve's just like, listen. I'm putting a new Avengers team together. We're here to help you out. And I like how her and Monet is like, let's join the team for now. But if they get off, we out.
That's it. I love that. Like yeah. Go. Can I? Are you going? You got some more? Okay. So I read this. I was instantly for it. The whole. We're going to talk about what you thought. I want you to say what you thought. Who you thought Mr. Captain Krakoa is in a minute, because I think that now too. After I read it, we will get into it. Hold on, give me a minute, because I believe it now too. After I read that, like after the first page of me reading it, Antonio, I literally was like, "Damn, he might be right. He might definitely be right."
Because once you said that piece,
it clicked, right?
You know what? Let's just do
it.
Go ahead. Okay, so Captain Krakoa forms a new mutant liberation front. It's the Blob,
Wildside, and Fenris.
Because I don't know none of these. There's all X-Men.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Fenris is very. That's a choice, because Fenris they are incestual twins. They definitely fuck each other. And they're Nazi. They're from the Von Strucker family. Von Struckers are notoriously Nazis, and they are Nazi twins who are evil, but also are very close. They don't outright say they're fucking each other, but they're fucking each other, and that's crazy. Yeah, it's really wild. But they have a cool little power. When they touch pans, they like, you know, shoot, like it's kind of like North Star and Aurora, honestly. They shoot that they have like a powerful beam. But yeah, go ahead.
So do we just jump into it?
I don't know. Okay, so yeah. We'll talk about it. So yeah.
So me and Aaron were on a conversation earlier today.
Well,
so there is a new Captain Kirk.
Before we do, we want to say what happened? How what happened with Dr. Stasis and MODOK, or we just gonna go into our theory? Okay,
no, we're just going into our theory because guys, if you, we gotta say this now. If you want this comic to continue, pre-order
the
book.
Yes.
Whether it's digital or your local comic shop, pre-order your book.
Because yes, it's a limited series now, but it could not be that, you know?
Yeah, it could change. It could change.
More. Like, let Jerry Duggan do more. Like, you know? But yeah.
So that said, me and Aaron had a conversation earlier. We're both thinking. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1. The new Captain Krakoa is Hydra Cap.
Yes. Because the way they explain, the way they go into, like, you've been gone for the world has changed since you've been gone. Because I was like, okay, what does that mean? Because when you told me, like, you know, there's a theory going around that, you know, it might be Hydra Cap. And I was like, okay. I was like, it couldn't be because he's dead. Like Selene killed him. But then as I read it, and I was like, oh, maybe not. Like maybe she did try, but maybe they brought him back in some kind of way. But yeah, when they explain to him, like, you know, you've been gone a long time, and they explains like what the world has been like since you've been gone. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a moment. I think it's definitely him. It will make perfect sense, especially going to the end. I don't like to where he like fights Cap, and he's like, and they say that this person is already is stronger than an ordinary human, and the fact that he's able to overpower Cap, because along with the Captain Krakoa suit enhances your strength as well already. So on top of that, he ends up like overpowering Cap. I was like, oh shit, that might be him, and I will be ready for that. Like, yeah, I feel like that'll be an amazing moment. But we get into it in this one. We get into like Ben Urich, who is now the owner of the Daily Bugle. I did not know that. I love that. And him kind of telling the story from the background of what's going on. But you can tell that one thing I love about Ben Urich is he's a staunch ally. He is very objective in his writing. Like because even when he puts that part of where is it? Where he says that it could be a flagship. Talk about the flagship thing. About how, you know, they're saying that, you know, what is it? He said, I haven't made up my mind yet. I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't have all the facts, but I will. What is true that the X-Men had their symbol of a nation. It was Cyclops operating under the name of Captain Krakoa. I find it hard to believe that this is the same man now who committed the vicious act of terrorism in Washington, D.C. If Captain Krakoa is a false flag operation, it's working. Fear of Krakoa and mutants in general has never been higher. And I love the fact that he is objecting to the part where he's open to the fact that it could definitely be a flagship mission, because it doesn't sound like the people that I knew and that I interviewed. And he kind of goes into it objectively. Then we get, you know, Psylocke going into it. I love that Psylocke and Monet just decided that they're going to, like, you know, come in and just like start killing motherfuckers. Like, I was living for all this. I was just like, oh, this is going to be good. And when I tell you they went into it, I felt like that was I love that whole scene. But then we get, when Cap comes to recruit them, and we see that he's like okay with it, like of them killing, because we know like strongly, like Captain America has strongly been against killing. Like there's been a rare few times where he's like, I don't even know if there has been a time where he's like, you know, killed somebody at least on purpose. And like I feel like
No. Well, I'll say he's strongly
yeah,
against it,
exactly.
yes. But he will
Right.
I will say it like this. Cat fought in World War
Right.
II.
He
Make of that what you will.
exactly. I've thought about that too. I'm like, he fought in World War II, so he's definitely unalived a few motherfuckers. And I feel like if anybody, I feel like Red Skull is definitely one of those people. Like he would definitely kill. Like he wouldn't hesitate. Like if he had the chance for
Oh
sure.
yeah, no question. Because literally the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "You're killing, and Orcus is killing
All
innocent
right,
mutants. I'm here to help.
right. Avenge them.
Avenge
That
them."
was it.
That's literally the first thing
That
he
was
says.
the first thing I was going to say. Because yeah, I was about to say when she was like, I don't think I can stand any lectures about my methods. They killed hundreds of thousands of mutants, then avenged them. I was like, oh, so you cool with it? And like, let's remember, like that was the whole contention of him inviting Deadpool in the first Uncanny Avengers because of like the fact that he goes around killing people and he's a mercenary for hire. And like, I love the fact that he's kind of like, okay, I get it now. Like, and you can kind of see that like he's finally starting to get what being an ally really is. Like, not standing beside you.
You can't listen, and this is for real life. You can't play around with fascists. You just can't. You listen. Look. I'm gonna just deviate for a second, and we're kind of running out of time because we're nearly an hour and 40 minutes.
It's hour 20. We're not that deep.
No.
Oh, shy.
Yeah, this
She's
round.
naive. I remember. Okay, damn. Okay, you're right. Okay.
All right, but you can't play around with fascists. You just can't do it. Like, it's either you get rid of them now, or it's gonna be a problem later. And look, like real talk. If you live in America and you listen to the sound of my voice, and somehow you made it past the first 5 minutes of this episode, you can't play around with fascists. You just can't do it. So, all right, let's wrap this up and let's get up out of here.
So what else do we have to talk about on here? Okay, so yeah, we kind of see them assembling the team. We kind of see that Captain Krakoa. Honestly, I get why the Mutant Liberation Front was formed now. Like I was like, because I was very much questioning like why Blob would join this, especially after he had such a great life on Krakoa, and like why Wildside would join it and everything. But then they explained that he thinks that he's Cyclops. They all think that he's Cyclops and that he's working. He's working to try to help mutants, when in actuality he's just doing the disservice of it. I love the fact that we kind of get that moment of him just you understand why they're doing it. They're doing it to fight for mutants, but they don't know that their leader is also a piece of shit. And it kind of goes back to the Uncanny Avengers with Secret Empire happened, and like how they were all working for him, not knowing what he was doing and not who he really was in the background. And we get that moment of them working together, and we get to see the Uncanny Avengers meet up with the X-Men and like have that moment. But also I love that they spotlighted Quicksilver in this. Like there's that moment when they was like Quicksilver is one of the fastest men alive. He suffered a couple hard years. First, he and his sister discovered that they weren't the children of Magneto. They were not mutants, and Krakoa was not for them. And then before he can reconcile with Magneto, the Master of Magnetism was killed in action on the Rocco. I love the fact that they brought that up because that's been one of my biggest contentions. The fact that Scarlet Witch gets a reconciliation with her father, but we never get that moment for Quicksilver. And like I feel like that was a spit in the face of them. That's because he's gotten the most disservice about with the whole like retconning him and Scarlet Witch not being his their kids. And I feel like that's a good moment to like bring up to them. Other than that, like I love this issue. It starts off where it builds up and it gives you something to look forward to be like, okay, what's going to happen next? And I can't wait to see what they do. I kind of hope that they take Cap in a darker, like I hope he's okay with them killing, because like let's be honest, all of his people that he's got on there are killers. Like they have all killed somebody at one point or another, and I am very like excited to see what they do with that team. And how they go about it. I hope he like genuinely understands the assignment now. Like he needs to be for the mutants all like for always. And we get that moment. But also there's a moment in there that I put Monet and Quicksilver ? Because that moment when she was like keep your hand, it's like watch your grip or something like that, when he's like carrying her or running with her. I kind of would like them to like have some sort of relationship, even if it's just like them like fucking. Like, I feel like that would be a cool little because they're so much alike but also very different. I feel like they would have hot sex. I feel like it would be amazing, honestly. I kind of but them I can't wait. We'll see. The Fall of X is starting off really crazy. I will say, as a black lover of X-Men, as a gay black lover of X-Men, I didn't know how to feel about the whole Uncanny Avenger. I mean, the X-Men dying like that, especially the most diverse team that we've ever had, like dying like that off rip. But Jerry Duggan does explain that he will, like, he's not done with them yet. Like, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be around. He just means like, this is going to be the time. And I don't know if you heard me before when you walked away, but the vote for X-Men was really for who would survive the Fall of X. So Juggernaut is alive, and we're apparently going to see him later on, and I'm kind of excited to see what they do with him, especially because it definitely looked like his head was smashed in when Nimrod was holding him. But I was like, okay, we gonna see. I kind of because I believe like on TikTok, Omar Holson, one of a great TikToker who love X-Men, he talks about like being X-Men. It's kind of sad that we can't, that the X-Men and mutants who are allegory for minority groups always have to go through something like this, but also it is who they are at their core, and they always are going to be met with resistance. And I kind of would love to see where they go with this. I just want them to be prominent. What's up?
I think after Fall of X, if I'm a mutant, I'd be like, fuck her.
To be honest, yeah, I would be on a rock already.
I don't know if they're gonna do it though.
Like, I think they said the Krakoa still exists,
but I at this point, after this,
for real, facts. I feel that. Because the fact that because they keep doing stuff to us, and I'm like, okay, if y'all don't want us here, just say that. I would be on. First of all, the second Araco came, I was like, all you had to do was tell me Storm was gonna be there. Okay, I got you. All right, I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all boys later. I gotta go to my people.
And we haven't talked about X-Men Red.
Oh
yeah, we will. I want that story to finish first, because I don't want to talk about it.
Have you read? How much have you read of it? Have you read any of it yet? Okay.
No, I feel like I and that's kind of why I don't want to talk about it yet, because I feel like I need to read it from the beginning to get the feel of what's happening. So that's gonna be what
right, because it explains why Storm and them wasn't there. And I was like, because I ain't gonna hold you, I was upset about that. I was like, why hasn't Storm come yet? Like to our rescue.
But you realize she
as soon as I said it, I remembered. I was like, oh, because she has her own Araco literally has her own civil war going on. I would say read it now. I feel like we could definitely get into it now. You should read it now, and we can talk about it next time, because it could be a good jumping off point to when they finally go into Genesis, the war. I call it the Genesis Wars, but the war with Genesis. Like, I feel like that would be a good little break-in point for you, especially with like the sword and all that, with sword and everything. You gonna love it. When I tell you I'm so excited for you to read that, you gonna love it.
Man, it's been a minute since I've been in reading an X-Men book. It's been a long time, which I feel like while I'm in Salt Lake, I'm gonna get caught up.
Do it, please. Look, and you got my Marvel Unlimited information if you need all the current books too. So yeah, do that. Because it's gonna be because when I tell you, as soon as I get off here, I'm about to read my new X-Men Red that came out this week, X-Men number 14. Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, man, and I feel like I should be reading X-Men Red already, because
I'm gonna say you love Nova, and he's very much strongly in it, in it too. Like, and he's not, he's like a background character, but he's also has a good storyline, and like I think you'll like what he's doing there. I think you should read Sword first if you haven't read Sword. It's only like
Okay.
because it leads right into X-Men. It continues the story of Sword. Yeah,
X-Men Red.
exactly. And I think
Okay.
you'll get a kick out of that as well because it deals more with the.
And you know what? It's all of this is written by
Yup.
Al Ewing. And I should have
Look
freaking
here.
known. I am been a slacker. I read his anything Al
Yes.
Ewing has written
Masterpiece.
in Marvel, except this Hulk. I will
haven't
read
read
his
that.
Hulk,
Yeah.
but I will read everything.
It's
Al
a banger
Ewing
every
writes.
time.
I just don't have the money like I
Yeah,
used
right.
to. Toys are
Well,
expensive.
I feel the fuck out of that because look here. One thing that white bisexual man know how to do is write a fucking is write Storm. I don't know what black woman he been hanging around, but that man know how to write Aurora Monroe of the Storms, and like the way he also writes, and hell, the way he also writes Arakko. Like everybody know, like Arakko is literally a planet made from mutants who are from Africa and who are from like the Middle East and everything, like those mutants, and like you see the culture still coming, like you see the culture like coming into this but like a nuanced way, and like you see that like some people have to like immerse themselves in their culture because they said you can either be a part of our culture or you choose, or you can just you choose violence with us because it's either you get in or you fit or you get the fuck out.
As you say,
Fucking we ball. Exactly. Fucking we ball. And that's exactly it. And I love that we get that moment.
right.
So it's gonna be exciting to see that.
Episode 38.
Yes.
I'm gonna work on it. We're gonna talk about comics towards the end, but I want to touch toys quite a bit because we did not finish our San Diego
We didn't.
stuff.
You're right.
But I want to give like a primer on toys, like scales and stuff, things people should pick up, that kind of thing. So, and then that'll have me will give me a chance to do research. Now, show note. Since we gave y'all nearly 2 hours this week,
we did.
X-Men episode 38 will probably be 2 weeks from Saturday.
Okay.
The reason being, hold on. The reason being, because we both have.
Right. Ugh.
Yes, and also I have to. I almost got the research down. All I got to do is put it on paper. So you may get one next week.
Look, we can work it out.
But just letting you know, we're gonna get it done. It's just
we just got to work with each other's schedules.
I don't want to like surprisingly. Thankfully, I wasn't tired, but I know like by the time 20 minutes hits, I'm gonna be
right. I have a.
All right, man. Telling yourself.
Of course. So you can catch me at King Krakoa. I don't know where that British accent came from, y'all. I'm so sorry. So you can catch.
You're not the only one who did that voice this week, so don't feel bad.
So you guys can catch me at King Krakoa on TikTok and Twitter. Follow me, and you can also. I just made a Discord as well a couple weeks ago, so you can follow me on there at the same tag. You can also catch me on TikTok at King of Thrones. That's also my Instagram as well, so y'all can follow me there. But yeah, where can they catch you, my guy?
Ant Life France on TikTok. Ant Life France on IG. No, it's actually Antonio Augusto 82 now. Bam. And that's pretty much it. I'm not on socials that much anymore. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. I have a reason to come back. There's a video on TikTok I wanna do a thing for. I may do it today. Holy crap. Someone took a pizza with a Philly cheesesteak and rolled it. This is next level.
I'm gonna say that's fat. Shit. I knew it. Right, I knew he was gonna say it. I was like,
I'm on board. All right, y'all. Listen. Thank y'all for listening. 460 downloads as of today. We got this gravy tray rolling. Get ready. Season 2 is coming.
Very much so.
Season 2 is coming. when we get past episode 52, because we're in
Yep, yep.
37 right now, it's 15 episodes. Bigger. What was my tagline? Bigger, blacker,
Yep.
and uncut. There you go.
And you know, fuck it, we ball.
All right, y'all.
Deuces.
Peace.